All right, record. So welcome to BFREE Monday this week. I'm coming in from Sydney. I've just flown over for 3 or 4 days, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug into planning for 2019, because one of the biggest things I've learned working with big entrepreneurial communities is that they prepare today for tomorrow, they prepare on Sunday for the week coming, and they prepare now for the year that's going to happen. So what most people do is they're still figuring out their own shit, their own organisation, their own rituals. So they'll tend to rock up and then they'll try to do something. It doesn't go as planned because they might have had the vision and the thoughts, but they haven't had the plan and the organisation to then have the execution. So this is something that I can really share with you, and I want to set the scene for 2019 to be the greatest expression of yourself so far. So, whether that's health-wise, whether that's, in the abundance, your ability to create a secondary source of income by helping something that you believe in and being part of a community like this and growing with us, not just in this, but in every other sense as well, then that's something cool too. So we want to really attract people to this space and keep it really high value. So honesty, vulnerability, figure out your own radical alignment and just step into it. So this quote popped up today from a good friend of mine, Chef Cynthia, and she said, "For a seed to achieve its greatest expression, it must become completely undone. The shell cracks, its insides come out, and everything changes. To someone who doesn't understand growth, it would look like a complete destruction." And I think that's a big thing, because sometimes you need to break down to break through. Sometimes you need to empty the cup to then fill it. Sometimes you need to let go to really allow that little that elastic band to recall forwards, And the beautiful thing about this type of community is this is such a cheap business to run. Like, you're spending $3,000 in a year, maybe plus a couple of grand on events and a bit of travel, and it's got the ability to pay you residually for the rest of your life. And one thing I really want to touch on is, this company is set to do $5 billion in sales by 2020. And they set a percentage when they started 5 years ago that they would always give 50% of the profits back to their associates and their people. So if you really get that they set it as a percentage, not as a number, that as they grow, we grow, and we get to share and circulate the abundance, then it's simply up to you to help them have a bigger impact and plug into a lot of the events and promotions and things that are there. So that's what I'm going to paint out tonight. And with the guys that are on here and anyone that's watching the recording, what I'd love to do is open a discussion about how we can best do promotions as a team and as a collective community, leveraging what's already there, and also working together and really leveraging, I've got a great background and great network. So does Tully, so does Lockie, so does Meg. So how can we come together and help each other have bigger influence? And, I think that cross-pollination is the thing that might help, say if Meg's got a physio friend, you can always connect them with me. Kia, if you know any, personal trainer friends or influencer friends or other women, then you can maybe connect them with Caitlin or Erica Perry or something like that. And Lockie, same, right? And so the point is that I think the collaboration, the co-creation will be the real key to our success next year. So what I want you to do, before the end of this week, who's cool to redo their vision board? Thumbs up. Who hasn't done a vision board before? Okay. Lockie, you've never done a vision board? My man.
Actually, yeah. I had a few things, I had a Range Rover and a holiday pick just here, but no, I've never gotten around to one actually.
Dude, okay. By the end of this week, guys, because I do this every single year, and then on the same day, I highlight in green everything that's come true and everything that hasn't, and everything that sort of came true. If I do it now for next year, I've already done it in October. If I did it now for next year, I'm already manifesting and creating things in my mind that are going to happen. Now, none of them have happened, but by the end of next year, in the last 3 years, just as an example, 80% of those things have come true. So whether you believe in conscious engineering, manifesting, all that type of stuff, trust the process and just get emotionally attached to a vision board for the next 12 months, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. Even if you just do one for 12 months time, that could be a good start. So what I'd love you to do is just play with me here. And I know this, I want it to be activity based as well, but just close your eyes. Just work with me here. So, and just imagine it's December 24th. It's 2019, the day before Christmas. It's 11:11 a.m. And just imagine you get the opportunity to jump on a plane and go anywhere in the world. just think, where would you go? What type of environment would you like to live in? And then link it back to like, what would be your ideal day? Would you wake up next to a beach? Would you wake up next to a partner? Would you have the time freedom to wake up slowly? Would you be able to press your snooze button? Would you go for a surf? Would you go out for a walk in nature? Would you work on a project? Just consider what that ideal day would be. So you wake up on December 24th, 2019, 12 months from now, fast tracking forwards. It's 11:11 a.m. and you're walking into this day. And just to really kickstart that vision board, just imagine anything's possible. And, you know, I know we've got resistances and things that stop us from thinking we can do things, but just imagine you just let go of all those for a second and you really step into what's possible and what's ideal for you. And start to link it into what would be your ideal lifestyle. Do you want to do the 9 to 5? Do you want to bridge into something else? Do you want to bridge into being a different expression of yourself? How would you show up? So just really to get the juices flowing, I just wanted to start with vision, because 2019 is about manifesting before it's happened, right? And then we can link it to partnerships and companies and communities and things like that. And we're just finding the tools and the resources that can get us there in the quickest way. Who wants to share just what's coming up for them in their minds? What about you, Locke? We'll get you started, mate, because I know you haven't done a vision board before. What was coming up for you, brother?
Yeah, I think just the being able to travel anywhere with the cool thing as well, and with PT and having your own business. When you don't work, you don't get paid, and we don't have any kind of really holidays as a business owner. So to really take a hold of this business and my business, ISA and also PT, and get that cranking so that can be a reality, is something that's going to really, I think, excite me really. So yeah, I think that was something that I kind of thought of, like maybe somewhere in the Maldives, just waking up the water, and yeah, just not having to kind of really be anywhere and do it with people you enjoy hanging around, really. So yeah.
That's powerful, man. I'll share something with you as well. Like, I did a vision board a year or two ago, and the only thing I hadn't done on that vision board was a trip to the Mentawais. But I had 6 spots that I want to go check out and surf. And I broke up with this beautiful girl about August last year. And you know, when you're in that like low vibration, like you've just gone through a breakup, things happen. And I was like, shit. I was like, okay, what makes me happy? And the first thing I did is I looked at the vision board, and that was the one thing I had not ticked off. So the very next week, I booked a trip to the Mentawais. In Sumatra, I met these 2 epic humans. Then I met Crowe, who then hooked me up with the synchronous villa in Bali. And it just all of a sudden, this whole flow just happened, right? Now, I didn't know that I was going to meet Crowe on that trip. I didn't know that any of these things were going to happen. All I knew is the end in mind was that I wanted to go to the Mentawais and surf there, right? And the funny thing is, when you do things that you love doing, you meet people who also love doing the same thing, and you start to create that law of attraction through your actions. So whatever it is in your mind, like, please just put it up there. And, you know, whether you manifest in 12 months or 24 months or 36 months is completely up to you, but it is really possible. And Tal, do you have any comments on this? Because I know you've done a fair few vision boards.
Yeah, like just the stuff that you get clear on happens for me. And like, I have done vision boards, but like what works really well for me is connecting through feeling. For example, I knew exactly how I wanted to feel in terms of with my partner in the space that I lived, and that came through a vision board. But I'm more of a kinesthetic learner, also manifester as well. So the vision board for me reminded me of just an anchor, and how I wanted to feel. That's exactly how I'm living. Like, you guys have probably seen photos of like our place, but it's fucking out of control. But did I specifically have this house on my vision board? And is it this like uncanny, oh my God, I got the hat? Like, no. But is it exactly how I want to feel? Like, yes. Like, and this whole business is an energy game. Yeah. Like, It's just as much energy. It's an action game too, but it's like, it's an energy game. So I think this stuff, definitely works.
And Meg, for you and your guys, like this is something cool as well. And anyone else watching, like you might have a little crew of like 2 or 3 or 4 people, wherever you are in the world. Would you be, because I know you said you've done a vision board before, would you be willing to sit down with your crew and just like have a day, I don't know, open a bottle of red wine or
party.
have a fasting day, whatever you want to do, and then just like paint out some vision boards with each other?
Yes.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. So, and empower your guys to do the same. Like it's like Lockie's been in this crew for 3 years and he still hasn't done one, right? And I know that I'll support you, Lock. I'll sit down with you on a Zoom if you want and make sure you get one done, because it's like it's probably the biggest reason why we unconsciously and subconsciously keep self-sabotaging ourselves, because we keep disconnecting from a vision. We keep disconnecting from, like Tully said, a feeling about who we want to be and how we want to show up each day. So we're all cool to get a vision board done by the end of the week.
Can
Just
I,
update
And it can be a cool thing, a cool way to meet new people as well. Like what Kat, after coming back from celebration, did like just a vision board party. And like people came around that weren't like part of our business yet. And it was a really cool way to meet people that are actually wanting to create things as well. So you can use that as a way to meet new people too.
And also what I'd love you to do, guys, as well, is like one thing that was really like a money mindset thing for me was to write a check to yourself, like a freedom check, like a breathing space check, like whatever that number is in your head, like that point to be at enough, or that thing that's going to free you to do the next thing, like write that down and even be prepared to like 10x it. If, as long as you feel like you can actually manifest it, because it's like, I wrote one, I think in my second year, and I wrote a check to myself to say that I'd earned 250 grand or something in that second or third year. And I had no freaking idea how to do it. I'd never done it before. I'd never earned more than $100,000 in a year. And it like literally within a month of that date, I had a look at my taxation for the entire year. I'd made like $262,000 for that entire annual year. So there's something freaky that goes on with this, and it's like, just don't limit yourself, but also be, like Tully said, connect it to an emotion, connect it to a why, connect it to a feeling, and that'll drive you so much more. Cool. All right. So the next one as well is in 2019, to make the vision board come alive, you're going to have a mindset that is going to back that up. So big thing, like imagine, right, a lot of us have been single before. Imagine you just had this unwavering confidence in who you were, how you showed up, and you felt like you'd talk to anyone and you could attract anything into your life. Just consider what type of clarity you would need, like what type of clarity you would need in your head. You just need to be so present, right? You wouldn't be worried about the past. You wouldn't be too anxious about the future. You probably have already made peace for those things. And you're just in flow with who you are and where you're going. And this is a big part of vision, but it's also a big part of that radical alignment with yourself. And then from here comes certainty, right? And if you are backing up, that vision, that mindset with these daily rituals, it's easy to get up in the morning with a certain level of energy, show up with that energy, look at yourself in the mirror and be willing to help people from the health and well-being space. Or even if you're on your journey and we've had people, have lost 50, 60 kilos, they just shared that they were on that journey. And then over like 6 months, people actually see them shift and change and transform in front of their eyes. So you've got to have this level of certainty, but also this honesty about the path you're going on. And then it's connection. So, the resources to get there, the partnerships, the team, the community, it's all there. To be good in the network marketing industry, you need to be a master connector. You don't have to be a master expert. You need to be a master connector. The experts are already there. You've got experts in this space. You've got experts who put the products together. All that they need is honest, integral people to connect people with a solution. And then collaboration, like me and Tully chat about this today. It's like there's a point where you outgrow the community and you go and do, you'll go lead your own community. But for the meantime, just collaborate and leverage what's already there. And if there's smart people around you, make sure that you're leveraging them. Yep, Callum, win belief is all at 10, driving now, so in. So that was just Cal's little update. I saw the chat box firing up. And then the last thing is contribution. So once you've got that clarity, that certainty, you're a master connector, you're open to leverage and collaborate, then guess what? You create a shit ton of abundance. And from abundance, you can then give forward, pay it forward, and do all that type of stuff. But most people are trying to save the world before they can fill their own cup. So we want to teach you how to fill your own cup, but then also serve from overflow. Now I'm just trying to get rid of this chat box. Give me 1 second, guys. So this is another task as well, because the big thing, if you're gonna achieve that little number that I challenged you to write a check to yourself with on the vision board that you're going to create this week, we need to understand where your current money mindset is. And the best way to do that is to play this game, and it's called the Power of Zero. So I might play this with you, Meg, but take yourself off mute.
Yeah.
So what I'd love to ask you, are you cool to play this with me?
Yeah.
I feel some resistance already.
No, just do it.
All right. So making $0 is easy, right? Just give your time for free. We all do that. So you could achieve that quite easily.
Yeah.
If you needed to make $10 today, what would you do? What would your strategy be?
I'd teach someone yoga.
One person yoga for $10?
Yeah, half an hour.
Yeah. Have you done that before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What happens if we needed you to make $100 today? What would you do?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably paint some clothes and sell it. Sell something for $100, like clothes or earrings or something.
Do you have anything in your house that's worth $100 that someone would buy today?
Yeah, I have $100 worth of earrings I could sell.
Yeah. Have you done that before?
Yeah.
You've sold $100 of earrings in one day?
Yeah.
Okay.
200 actually. Yeah.
There we go. All right. What about $1,000? You need $1,000.
Tap out.
Well, just let's give it a go. How would you make $1,000? So your car broke down. You need to drive to uni tomorrow, and you need to make $1,000 to make the payment to the mechanic. What would you do?
Yeah, I honestly have no idea.
Would you try to do it yourself? Would you reach out to people? Would you reach into your networks?
I'd probably borrow money from my parents.
Okay, you could borrow money. Yeah, parents would give you the money.
Yeah.
They'd give you $1,000.
Oh, I don't know if they'd give me that much.
Well, would they give you 500, and maybe someone else could give you 500?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done that before?
No.
Okay. So this is a Power of Zero. That's your upper limit at the moment, right? So say I do this at like an entrepreneur resource, right? At one of the events there, like some people, they can't get past $100 because they've always traded their time for money, and they've always, they've had a job, maybe they've earned 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour, right? But some of them, if I say, how would we get $100,000? They come up with things like, I just reach out to John, Jeff, and Bob and put together a pitch deck and pitch an idea to do this investment or sell this property or flip this or do that, right? So the thing is like as your money mindset increases, your ability to redirect and attract flow becomes so much stronger. And the coolest thing is like if you look each week, like what's coming into your bank account. Is anyone in here earning over, I don't know, $1,000 a week? Show of hands. $1,000 a week. Yep. So anyone in here earning over $3,000 a week? No. Yeah. Lock. Anyone earning over $10,000 a week? Show of hands. So that's like $500,000 a year. So it's like we can start to see where the upper limits are, right? So if you know how to make $100, epic. And it's like, well, how do I raise my money mindset and my abundance mindset? Where do I get rid of the kinks in my hose to start releasing that, right? So I think, Tully, you had someone in your group, or Caitlin, was it, that had someone make, it was like $1,000 in a week because they enrolled 2 people and they built up some BV. Was that one of your girls?
It was one of Jenna's.
One of Gemma's. So she had someone that was just using the products for a long time, and eventually, like a year or 2 years down the track, she just started sharing the program. And as soon as she shared it with 2 people, her cycles just ticked over and her business kicked into gear, and she got paid nearly $1,000 and something dollars, right? So her money mindset shifted in an instant. She's like, holy shit, I do this and that, and I make $1,000. And the thing is like, you can believe it, but until you've done it, and that's why I said, okay, how do you do it? And you said with the earrings, $100. I said, have you done it before? You said yes. With the car, it's like $1,000. It's like, yeah, I've done it. But have you done it before? It's like, well, no. So it's like, there's your limit. And then you like, once you get past that, you get to 10 grand, you get to 100 grand. And, you know, and realistically, guys, the ability to, once you get past maybe $1,000 or $10,000, you stop thinking about how can I do this? And you start thinking about how can we do this? It becomes about leverage. It becomes about partnership. It becomes about networks, right? Because me trying to earn $1 million by trading time for money is not going to happen. Me going and setting up an event and charging $5,000 a ticket and getting 100 people to come in and leveraging networks to get those sales might make $1 million, right? But it's like we have to shift the way that we think to do it. And also we have to model strategies that have done it before, right? So who knows of anyone in Isogenics that's made over $1 million? Anyone? I think there's about, 300, 400 millionaires. That's like 1 millionaire every 20 million revenue, which is more than the closest network marketing company, like tenfold. So there's strategies that are here in plain sight. And if you even just Google how many six-figure income earners in Isogenics, you'll see there's a bucket load. And the thing they forget to mention is a lot of this is passive and residual money. So that's freaking cool, right? And if you don't understand what that is, go upgrade your mindset to really understand what residual income is, because then literally there's quotes and memes saying you run through walls to get it. I think you really will, right? So the next thing is power of zero. So the big thing for 2019 I want to really touch on is for all of us is let's get away from being product focused, because like if you're sitting there arguing the details of ashwagandha versus Siberian versus Asian ginseng, and you haven't spent 60 years like researching that shit like John Anderson and all the scientists have, then you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And someone with more intelligence, more ego is going to come and they're going to trump you. You're going to make yourself sound like an idiot. If you be problem focused and you're interested in finding a solution for them, your job is to connect them with the solution to their problem. If they've got a question about products, you find the product tool and you give it to them. If they've got, if they're really intelligent and they're a big influencer, you might need to go out of your way to connect a big influencer with a big influencer. And then they can talk on the same level, right? And Jamie Richards did this with me the other day, and he was like, hey, I've got this guy that's, quite successful in business and he wants to live in Bali and free his location, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, Roz, I know that you've done that. Would you mind chatting with this guy? So match like for like. When we do the full customer pathway as well, so this is the Be Well, the product user and the product sharer side. We're going to talk about promotions in a sec, but we might do, you might do like a 9-day cleanse, or I've seen 14-day boot camps. I've seen 28-day resets like what Lockie's doing. You might go for a full transformation 16-week challenge, but just know that everybody starts and they do a 30-day reset and then 90 days of maintenance. That's the ideal program, which is the IsaBody challenge. And what they start on in the first 30 days, usually it's like an ultimate pack or a premium pack or, 30-day pack. And you might, there might be some people where you just introduce them with the e-shots and maybe the smoothies if that's where they're at, but you want to meet them where they're at and then take them eventually to this journey. Because when they go through a full blood cycle, 120 days, that's when you get a massive shift and transformation. Obviously into that, there's other products and tools. So, obviously if you haven't heard about it already, there's a 60-day mind and body program. You pay $50. It gives you the money back when you finish. There's the IsaBody challenge. You can win up to $10,000. So leverage all these things that are already there and just, you can promote it in your own way. You can promote it under your own brand and then let people get attracted to you. Now, the key to the business building side, and this is just, again, these are key principles. I just want to touch on everyone and make sure we're really clear for next year, is that, BFREE is about building communities. So it's like, how do you build tribes? How do you build communities? It's like, okay, well, I can impact myself. I've impacted one person. From your results, you'll create attraction. If you can't influence 10 people, then you need to upgrade your influence and your posture, your certainty, your clarity, right? And then to go to the next level of leadership, you might want to influence 100 people. And you're like, well, shit, I might not be able to influence 100 people by myself, but I can influence, Tully, who knows how to influence 1,000 people. And I've seen this many times where someone who can build trust, even in small groups, they will know someone who's got a big network of influence and they get them involved and their business explodes. So it's not just about who you know, it's about who they know. So to get to helping 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people, It's the first 10 might be who do I know. The next 100 might be like who do we know, like close tribes communities. Most people don't get beyond that because they can't go beyond their current like circle of influence, and they just don't understand about going to network events and really just connecting with people. Because to go to the next level is who do we know? Who do we know as a collective tribes? How do we create a ripple effect? Not just one loop, but 2 loops and 3 loops and 4 loops, and start duplicating and having that level of influence. And realistically, the 10,000 to 100,000, just consistency of doing the same thing over time. And I've had people come into my business like 10 levels deep who have gone and shared it with 150, 200 people, and I've never met them, So imagine you create that level of, and you leverage those systems, you can do that too. So the cool thing about all of this is we're just going to, whenever we're teaching anyone how to do the business, can we all do a thumbs up that we just send them to isogenicsbusiness.com? We cool with that? And if you haven't mastered it yet yourself, please go spend 30, 40 hours and just like put that into your diary and be like, hey man, if I like, this is okay. I went to university for 5 years. It did not teach me how to create abundance. I went and learned this business system on Isogenics Business. I've got a business that now pays me between $3,000 to $5,000 a week residually. Right. So it's like learning these 6 skills and learning how to build teams and communities will free you up to do the next thing. And you just got to figure out if your alignment and vision is where Isogenics is going. And for me, it was easy. I was captured on the vision before I was captured on the money. And I was captured on the products because like I had an amazing experience and I was already all in. So especially for Megan and your guys, if you guys in your first 30 days, just trust the process. Make sure you feel it. And then you can really share it from a really good space. At the end of the day, it's just intermittent fasting and some freaking high vibration plants from no compromised source. Some people chuck in the way, right? So, but run the tracks, right? So if you have just started, your next step is to share with 2 people. That's it. If you're going to influence 2 people, this is going to be, you're going to have a bit of self-development, see if you can create that level of influence. And you should be able to. I'm sure you can get 2 people to a cafe. There's no reason why you can't influence 2 people to do a detox or something with you. And then beyond that, it's like helping them share with 2 people. And then it's finding, helping another 2 people, another 2 people, another 2 people. So your first 2, your first 10, so on and so forth. We call that easy. Cool. All right. The next thing is events. So this is a calendar of events for 2018. I put out the events for 2019. There's 4 core events that you like. If you're going to treat this like a legitimate business, and like I said, this business costs you $3,000. You eat your overheads, you get the health, and then you spend like $150 on subsidized events, which would usually be like $1,000 to $2,000 with the level of speakers. But because we've got such a big network, Isogenics does it for us so much cheaper. So the main ones would be like UIA, make sure you get to a University in Action, Celebration next year. That's a non-negotiable for me. And it should be for you as well if you're treating this like a real business. That's where I meet people that I then leverage to then come on calls to help you guys solve problems and share stories. So you can start to do the same. We've also got David Wood events. So that's really cool just for building your own belief. And what else we got? Summer kickoff, Tal. So make sure you go on the core 4 events. If you're really, really into it, you have all these events in your calendar, and we'll make sure we share all this in BFREE once it's there. But again, master the 6 skills. It's not going to happen overnight. Me and Tal and Lockie are still mastering the skills 5 years in. But you get better and better and better, and the more energy you put into it, the more energy you're going to get back from it. Now, this is something that I want to touch on, because the other thing is, and we've done this in the last 5 years, is going, well, okay, that's cool, but how do we do promotions? Yeah? Has anyone run like a successful promotion before? Yep. Tal, I'd love to share just an example of how, maybe you got 10 people to an event, or, what was your strategy? Or in Isogenics?
So I've run successful ISO ones where I've enrolled 6 to 8 people within a 30-day period.
Okay. So tell me about one of those. What did you do?
Just a what and a when. It was like, we're doing this. It was very clear. I'd consistently built up presence and connections leading up to it.
Yep.
Start and finish date was there.
Yeah.
And then just had a lot of conversations. Like,
yeah.
I like definitely some social attraction, but even in workshops I've run, there's social attraction, and then I'm still messaging people. It's like people miss posts, people are busy, people miss notifications, it's like, yes, attraction-based marketing is epic, but anything that other than a couple of things that I've done with Kat, because our attraction has just been epic through living in love, and some of those have sold out without follow-ups.
Yeah.
But any other one that I've run, it involves that direct conversation.
Yeah. And there's an element of both, man. That's really powerful. So there's a level of like consistency in showing up. There was a what and a when. This is really important because it's like, the what and the when is the arrow. If people don't have a clear start date and a finish date, then it's a little bit too fluffy for them. So if you do like a 9-day reboot, or you do a 28-day reset, or you do a 120-day transformation, like you might want to start with a 9-day reboot or a 28-day reset, and be like, oh, hey, by the way, it's 90 days of maintenance. And do you want to plug into that as well? This is where the auto ship conversation comes in, because these are the results we see. These are the outcomes, and so on and so forth. Then that's a really cool way to do it. So the what and the when is the arrow. The who and the how is then the bow that shoots the arrow, right? And the thing that really balances the arrow is the why. That's the reason why you're doing it, the reason why you're trying to help people get these results. And it's usually linked to your own emotional experience, how the products will work for you. Maybe it's a community. Maybe it's you just wanting to serve and help people that you really care about. So the what and the when is super important. So it starts with like an invitation. So you'll be creating some sort of attraction. Then you'll do a post or something saying, or a direct message saying, hey man, like you popped up in my mind. Do you want to do this thing with me? You want to do this 28-day reset? For some reason, I thought of you, X, Y, and Z. Or you might have a thing and you might do it as a group. And we've seen this work really well before. I think the mums did it. And they're like, we're going to do like a 14-day boot camp or a 9-day reboot or something like that. And then you can, plug people into a group and then, create the attraction there. So whatever your strategy is, there's going to be some sort of level of attraction and invitation. They'll register their interest and say, hey, yeah, I'm keen. And then you'll obviously follow up and confirm, okay, cool. Here's how, let's organize an exploration call and see if this will work for you. And then it's about, the preparation. Usually the to and fro, the follow up here is about, oh, hey, I've got money objections or this or that or the other. So you're basically setting them up for success. And then the delivery happens where they go, all right, they pay the money and then the products get delivered. And this is where that Be Well journey really starts. They'll do their first 30 days. They'll give you feedback along the way. And usually I think people forget to do this, is to get testimonials and say, man, how'd you really go? Do a Facebook Live in the Be Well group with them and just talk about their experience, because they're sharing it from authenticity. And then the best thing to do is obviously say thank you. Now, you can do thank you by helping get their products paid for. You can do thank you by sending them a little gift like Anna Richards does. You can do a thank you in so many ways, but it's just that little extra bit of service that will make this really, really good for you. So if you follow that full process, every time you do a promotion, whether it's a 9-day reboot, 28-day reset, whatever it is, what will happen is you'll build into the next promotion. So the thank yous, the testimonials at the end of this one will build into the next one, and then so on and so forth. And what will tend to happen is you build momentum over the year. Now, you might only do 4 promotions a year. You might do 1 every single month. Depending on the level of consistency and effort you want to put into this, you can run this at your own way. But once you run one successful, you'll be able to do the next one better and better and better, right? So make your first promotion might be getting your first 2 people. Your first promotion might be helping your first 10 people. So just maybe start with where you're at. And then once you get to 10 people, just repeat that. If you sign up 100 people in a year, you're going to be killing it in this business. I can tell you that. And there'll be 10%, 20% of those people that want to share it along the way. So you'll probably start to leverage the other parts of the promotion plan. Now, this is the last thing, because I know we're coming up on 30, 40 minutes. So when it comes to promotions, there's so many things already there. So like I said, this Isagenix puts 50% of their profits back into people. And what tends to happen is when they're making more money, but like certain people, not everyone's sharing it, right? Like I think it's like 85, 90% of people never share the program. So it's like there's that 10% of people that get to leverage that abundance and that flow. And that's the reason why you guys are on these calls, because you get it. You see the vision, you see the integrity of the company, you see the fact, like I've worked in the Entrepreneurs Institute. I haven't had one business come through and set up from the very beginning. They're going to get 50% of their profits back to their people. It just does not exist. People argue about giving 10% to charity, let alone 50% back to their customers. So really understand that these promotions are there to be leveraged. The Fiji challenges, the Machu Picchu leadership things, they're just trying to create incentives for you to step up. And then they're going to give you the support as well. So, once you get into the director pools and actually executive leadership pools, like people have been getting like 14, 15, 20K in a week, like just from these promotions, just by being there, from helping 10 people help 2 people. So it's like really understand the simplicity of this and get to know these promotions. And, your version of the Fiji challenge might be different. It might be like, I'm looking for 5 people who want to come hang out in Fiji with me. I just stepped in this pretty cool partnership and I want to explore it with some people. Like whatever it is that you want to do, it might be, who wants to come to Machu Picchu. You know what I mean? It's like you can create attraction and interest through that and then find a group of people that want to go there with you. And then you can start attracting people through vision and travel and the things that are really important to them. And then you link it to the opportunity. Then you link it to us and the meetings and so on and so forth, right? Body Challenge is a massive one. $3,000 for state winners or country winners, $10,000 for the overall winner, free trips like to the USA and to Celebration. And a lot of the people in different divisions are winning, just by trusting the process for 16 weeks and actually putting in the essays and things like that. So if you help them do that, you can leverage these promotions that are already there, plus get epic results. It builds your belief, builds theirs, builds community. So what I'd love to do in BFREE or with your teams is start to think, if we're going to do some promotions together next year or individually, like it'd be ideal to do like a monthly promotion and have, a start and end date. Like say for now, we could be planning towards like a January 3 to, January 31, so the 28-day reset. And we could all be working towards that together and like create some attractions and some tools around that. And then, once we kick that one into gear and then we get the invitations, the registrations, the enrollments for January 3, which is like the new year, right? Then what we can start to do is start to build into the February one. And we might do the exact same thing in February, like Feb 1 to Feb 28-day reset. So then once we've got that first group started, then we build in the next one. Then we do the same for March, then we do the same for April. And then what can happen is each month we're sharing the testimonials and results. We're sharing the testimonials and results. We're sharing the stories, right? And then we start to build attraction. We start to build a bit of momentum over the year. Now, that's more for, I guess, the Be Well and the product user, product sharer side of things. But for the BFREE side of things, we could literally just leverage the Fiji promotions, the Machu Picchu promotions, the Builders Club promotions, and really just like plug into that and see how many of our team members we can actually get to these events. And that could be something as simple as we could do. Like we've done trips to Bali and retreats in Bali before, and we're open to doing that again. But realistically, I think we keep it simple and we just leverage what we already have. I see you off mute, Tal. Do you have any comments or anything to add?
Yeah, just to add, like all the people that especially for the BFREE, like you say, like for the business builder, leverage what's there, and there will likely be an ISA Derby launched next year, probably just off the back of Celebrations, or around sort of Feb, March usually. Locke, do you know when? It's usually around Feb, March.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
ISA Derby. So knowing that they're going to launch, and for the guys that are new, like Callum and the Sunny Coast crew, it's basically like you get together in teams and it's basically a free epic 5-star trip somewhere is up for grabs. So what you want to be doing now is really almost like doing the work over the next 2.5-3 months. So by the time that promotion is launched, you've already got a bit of a team that you can work with that in.
Yeah.
Because if you wait until it's launched, then you're like, shit, I've got to find these people to work with. They're like, it's often like, so basically all that groundwork that you're doing now, even though it's coming to Christmas and all of that, like all the conversations and everything you're having now, know there's an epic promotion that's coming, and start to build and work up towards that.
Yeah. Yeah. Spot on, man. And like there's guys like Rob and Ria Love who won like the last 4 in a row. And realistically, the simplicity of it is I think they've, helped maybe like 20 to 30 people get started in like a 3-month period, a 4-month period. So it's like, it's completely possible, especially if you've got that level of influence already. And, I look at any business, if you can help, find 30 customers. So if you can't help find 30 customers, then the chances are you're not going to have a very successful business or whatever you do, even if the business only does cost you $3,000. Like, so, and yet your overheads. But I guess that's it, guys. And probably the key thing for December as well would be just whoever you've got started already, just really set them in for maintenance and a bit of healthy moderation. Set them up for success over the busy season. And you might even be able to like re-enroll them on a 30-day reset in the new year. So when you've got a what and a when, so like, hey, Jan 3rd, we're going to do a 28-day reset. You might have people that go off the rails in the silly season, but just let them know and be like, hey guys, we're gonna do let's do a reset together. Just plug back into the system, just follow the flow, fasten day each week, smoothies, etc., etc., etc. And we can get back to scratch, which means that you can go and have fun and not feel really bad about it because you've already had this solution, and we can do it again, right? So, are you guys cool to have that level of conversation with your current people, and also we can start to discuss how we can do some promotions together next year? Yep. All right. Well, let's aim for the first promotion we'll do together. Let's do it for the start of January. So it'll be a Jan 3 one, and ideally we'd want to have that sort of up and about by next Monday. So start to build into it and be like, hey guys, we're starting something Jan 3rd, and then that way you can go out and have champagnes and do your Christmas thing. And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of bloated people at the end of Christmas dinners who are like, oh, I want to do something for the new year, and you can be like, oh, hey, check this out. We've got something that I've just plugged into in the last month, and it's working really well for me. You should have a chat with Tully or have a chat with Raws. And if we work together, I think we can create a lot of momentum around this. Sound good? All right, question time, and then we'll shoot off. Anyone got any questions or any comments to add? Megan crew, Tully and crew, Lock.
Just a quick one that I had earlier. That was a bit about how you're showing up and all that as well. Ben Kelly, I think, was really cool with that. And he said, who you want to be in 5 years, who you want to be in 10 years, and then what you need to do to get to that. I was going to say this when we were talking earlier. And scripting as well. I know when I was catching up with Blackers a lot, she got me right into that, and something that I haven't really done for a while and really started to work, actually. I really, really love that. So that'd be another thing that I really want to get going as well. But that was my little additional note.
100%, man. I've also got a Word document I'll share in the BFREE group, but it's about scripting a vision for a 12-month vision. You can then extrapolate that to 5 and 10 years as well if you want. And then you can paint, use that as a template to then go find pictures out of books and then put it on your vision board. So if you want me to share that, I'll chuck that in the BFREE.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome.
Yeah, scripting's powerful, man. All right, guys, enjoy yourselves. Let's aim towards a January promotion, and then we'll repeat that each month over 2019. And make sure your vision board's up at the end of the week. Sound good?
Let's get it.
All right. And if you want some accountability, post your vision board in the BFREE group. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. And then that way we can support your visions as well. All right. See you guys. Thanks for jumping on.
See you, bud.
Bye.
See ya.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Rory.
No worries, man. Nice to meet you guys as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
No worries. Gotcha.
Mhm.